Hello and welcome to Conquering Mount Scrapmore with Brenda. I'm Brenda and today we're here with another episode of the Orphan Block Challenge. Now this Orphan Block Challenge is, the pile will be going down today. You'll see it. We worked hard in getting some of the blocks that are the same. I've been sewing like a crazy person and trying to get some of those blocks together. But today we're going to teach you how to do webbing and how to web a quilt top. But first I want to introduce you to Ms. Linda Mielke. Now her YouTube channel is going to be in the show notes below, and I hope I didn't butcher her last name too badly, and she's got lots of videos out there that are just a lot of fun. So when you go check her out, tell her that Brenda from Conquering Mount Scrapmore sent you her way, and it'll be a surprise shout out for her. The other thing that's in the show notes below is going to be our Facebook group, and that link is there where the ladies are sharing their pictures and sharing in the rooms and the virtual sewing rooms and getting to meet other members and sewing with them as well as myself. I try and hang out there when I can. The other thing is the Zoom the sew dates. Those are all the dates from now until December, and the Zoom link that you need to get into those sew dates. So if you're not part of the Facebook group, you can still come join us and sew with us on once a month. Okay, so come on in. We have some sewing to do. Okay, we're at the sewing machine, and today we're going to get rid of this box of squares. Now, this was part of the Edmonton Quilt Guild sew along. Now I've already taken these out and arranged them the way I want them to be arranged, and that's all good. Now I'm going to put this one up to the side for now. So these are the blocks. Now I can't give you the patterns for these blocks because it was a Quilt Guild sew along, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to web the quilts. Once they're all the same, all your blocks are all the same size, and they've all been squared up to the same size. This is how you do this, right? Now, let me get in here a little bit. Now I'm going to put this one on the bottom, and the one beside it, I'm just going to lay it on top because I know how these things are. I want these things how to go. Now this was a fun project for me. This was all black and white prints, grays, and every block has a little splash of red, and I did give you one of the patterns, but now that it's finished, it's just sitting, and basically it's a UFO. These are all quilt blocks that go together to make a cute little crib-sized quilt. It will be bigger than a crib size, but it'll be a nice crib-sized quilt for somebody. And I'm just going to put it out. There we go. Alright, got the little scissors. Get my little leader ender off there. Now, I've sewn two blocks together, right? Now you take the next two blocks and you just put them like this. And it doesn't really even matter how you put them together because these were all an eclectic mix of blocks. Every member had fun coming up with their own little quilt block. So I want this because there's 20 blocks. I want it to be 4 by 5, like so. You go 5 down, 4 across. You don't want that taken off on you too much. Yeah. So you just put it on like you put one block down and you sew, and you don't cut your thread in between yet, right? So here was a cute block. And this one was mine that I designed, right? And I think I gave this one to you. This is a modern basket weave. And then I just slashed and added a little bit of pop of red to it. Right, like so. Hang on, I'll show you. Just a pop of red, just to like a 1-inch strip, and then you sew it back together and it looks like that on the back. So yeah. It was a good way to add a little pop of color. But I knew going in that this would end up being a charity quilt. So it's like I'm okay with giving it now to charity. Okay. There we go. Okay. This one. Oh, I'm going to put this one down first. So I'm going to put this one down. And this one down here, like so. And I've got my stay stitching around all this. This was a pretty, really pretty paper piece block. This, when you're doing these, it's kind of like bringing back a lot of fun memories too of working with these blocks. And everybody had a different idea about how to put, you know, what blocks they wanted in their quilt. And then I had to, in order to make 20, I had to come up with 2 blocks of my own, which I did. But it was a good time. It was good. Now, is this about one more set here to throw together? Now, if you were to have laid these out, they would have worked perfectly. You know, they would have come together without too much of a hassle. So I just gotta put this one. This is the last one we put together. And we're gonna move all of this off here. And we get these 2 here. This is also another pattern I gave you for foundation paper piecing. I had permission from the person who drafted it out to change the size and make it a little bigger, so you'll see this one again. Okay, almost to the end. Now when I'm doing these, I always have a leader ender beside me, or close at hand, so I know where I'm at. Okay, so this and this can go there. Now I'll just put these, run these through real quick, and then I'll be able to cut off the quilt I'm making. There we go. Yeah. So when I did all my light blocks, I put them together exactly like this. Okay, there. Now I'm opening them up, just like you would open up a book, right? You're going to open up this book and see what you got. And when you're doing other blocks, you can do other blocks like this all the time, right? It's genius, genius, genius plan. Now I'm going to take the other side of this, and I'm going to put in this block now, just from the top down. Okay, so I did, I don't know how many, I was doing 1 an hour. When I was doing the potato chip blocks this way, I was doing 1 twin-size quilt an hour, putting it all together. And I'm not going to make you watch a whole hour of this. Wow, that would be long. But you just open them up and you start sewing them now on the other side, right? So there we go. Here. Okay, and then you lay out the next one. Excuse me. I'm not sick, it's allergies. When we're filming this, it's May, or April, I mean, and I'm like really choked up because the snow mold and everything is just here, and I don't know. So they say living on cough drops and tea. Yeah, something like that. There we go. And, okay, I'm going to put this way, because I think it would look best. This one was so much fun. I had a twisted seam I'll have to iron out proper and flat before I take it anywhere. It's not a twisted seam, it's just been ironed incorrectly. I'll have to fix that before it goes. Okay. Okay, now these two are going to end up side by side, so they're a duplicate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this just a bit to get this out of sequence so it doesn't look all, you know, lined up, you know. It was a beautiful block, by the way. This block was just gorgeous. I should ask my guild sister if I could show you her block. She does some beautiful stuff. There we go. Now you notice there's no pens going on in here, right? Because none of the seams have to match, like on this particular one. None of the seams have to match. But if you had seams that had to match, yeah, then you'd have to, like, you know, put something down to make that happen. Okay, I'm going to go this way with this. There. There. You just want them, you want the blocks for this, I wanted it to kind of be a little random. There we go. Yeah, this was a fun challenge. I hope they do this again. Okay. Now, get another leader ender through, and now these two can go. Just all I'm doing is putting leader enders down. Now what I'm going to do is once I get the leader ender through here, I'm going to put this, take it back exactly the same way as I did before to get on the last column, because I'm doing 5 by 4. Okay, so I'll sew that on and then I'll show you what I do next, okay? Okay, now the last row that's going the opposite way. Now I've sewn all of these and I've pressed these so this will go, you know, one row will go this way, one row goes that way. Therefore, you know, when your blocks are put together, they nest really easily. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to start this running through and then, yeah. And this comes together really quick. I was very, very surprised how quickly this came together. Now once I get started, let me trim off that little block. Once I get started, I kind of make sure these nests, I open it up so I can get a good sense of where that nest needs to be. And I just keep sewing, just sew it along. You're only going to do like this 4 by 5 block layout. So it's going to be a good size quilt that'll be able to go with baby to the toddler bed. Oh. Okay, you know what? I got just a little bit wobbly there. So I'm going to take this off. And I got a little wobbly here. I know you can't see it, but I can see it. So it's like, okay, it's going to bug me knowing that I haven't got a full, good, you know, bit of fabric underneath my needle. Okay, there we go. There, now it's been corrected. The seam's been corrected to the right size. Okay, there we go. Then I get past that point, and here we go with the other one. Okay, there. Now, sometimes blocks are a little bit bigger, and if you trim them down too much, you start losing points. Now, this is more true on sampler blocks, or, you know, sometimes, well, most blocks. When you do, let the feed dogs do their job. Put the bigger one on the bottom, you know, and just let it ease in. Then trying to trim it down and, you know, so, you know, end up losing all of your points, right? That's something that a lot of people, like this has a point here. If I, you know, because it's a flying goose, right? Now if I sewed it from the other direction, I don't have a hope in seeing that point because I can't see it, right? So I make sure, you know, you flip them around. And this block here underneath, just a little full for some reason, even though it measures 12.5 inches. Actually, they all measure 12.5 inches. So I'm just going to let the feed dogs do their job. Just get it in there. And now I'm coming up to a point. I want to make sure I get that point. Yes, I did. And make sure, there we go. Now you only have to drop it like one stitch past, or one needle, and I would leave your needle in the down position once you get past that, those things. Okay, here we go. Last stretch. And there we go. Okay, and now I'll put all that up top. Oh, get two dark blues to go with a pale blue background. This is why I probably have so many Orphan blocks, but I am going to try and make, while I'm doing this, I'm making blue and white 4 patches. So as I get more blue and whites done, maybe I'll have a little blue and white 4-patch quilt for you. Okay, so now we get to the big ta-da moment. Okay, here we are. This is our ta-da moment. This is my quilt top from the Edmonton Quilt Guild Block of the Month. And that's what it looks like. So what do you guys think? And it's all gray, blacks, whites, and pops of red everywhere. And this, these prints here, where is it here? They look more pink, but it's a red and white print. But I thought that would add a little touch of fun. So now I webbed a whole bunch of these quilts together, just like this, and those were those potato chip blocks. And I'll put the potato chip block link in. Now let me see if I can grab them. Here's 4 and another 4. Yeah, I make lots of potato chip blocks. And another 4. It's like a clown car of quilts, eh? Another 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 18, just a minute here. But in the meantime, we've created a bunch of room on my cutting table. So this gets pushed back and I have like a foot of cutting table now that I've reclaimed, right? So this is pretty good. Wow, is this heavy? So I did all of these quilts by webbing, and it took me an hour to do one quilt, right? So because it was that fast with doing it by webbing. You make your sewing more efficient by webbing your quilt tops. Anyways, I hope you have an absolute fabulous time and you have a wonderful week ahead. I'm going to put these into a different place because they can't stay in the sewing room now. Okay, you guys take care until we meet again. All right, bye. My husband and I would love to thank you for all of the amazing people that we have met along this crazy YouTube adventure that we've been having. We do free speaking engagements too, so if you're part of a guild and they're looking for, you know, people to talk and, you know, and chat with, you know, in their monthly meetings, tell them that I'm doing free ones just to help the guilds out, because it's been a tough time for the guilds as well. You know, share, like, and subscribe with your friends. You know, make sure that they're, you know, they get the word out on us. That's the best way you can do to help us out. So until we meet again, I want to thank you. Okay, goodbye.